Welcome to the Please Subscribe show.
Don't forget to get your Whataburger.
Right over there.
I think it goes that way. Why did you have to do that? The police officer's going to pull you over because your phone's not fucking mounted.
I'm getting a mount on Temu for $9.37. I gotta wait for it though. For the leeway of the
Every
extra money.
freaking red light. Steven Spielberg. Other people get facelifts. So this is from my perspective of it. I'm sure I'm listening. And then I think somebody was about to massage my shoulder, and then I saw this person massage somebody else, and I wanted to see if it was Then I don't know how it ended. Oh yeah, they started over here, and then I walked around. But the guy gets involved, and then it stopped. That's what I had, right? French.
It started with a passenger. It's a passenger train that zips by pretty quick.
Six.
So apparently if you place an order on the app, you just pull up. I think I did pickup, but you can just show it to them probably. We're going to use this for the Pelican, which I think is not a very good case. It's going to be the OtterBox. There's a lot of really good ones coming out. Even Apple has one that's supposed to be like a pretty good one. This one's a little rigid. It's just, to me, it's shaky and rigid. I think the OtterBox Defender is probably one of the leaders when it comes when it comes to what I was doing, there was no problem with it. It's just that the lightning cord wouldn't keep up with it. So they got sued, so they had to switch over to the C cord, so it made some problems. But so far, that was Linda. She was telling me that she was thankful for her headache. So I got breakfast. I've been talking about this for a while. It's something that I've been missing in my life for quite a bit of time. No coffee, but we have a cold, slightly caffeinated tea from 7-Eleven. So, I don't know. I've got a little English in me as well as Irish, and then a touch of Apache, enough to cause some problems. So I talked to this police officer about the ADT equipment and why they wouldn't have it. He's had it before, so he's a new homeowner. And, you know, he's not against it, but I don't know, man. That's the number one person that needs to have it. Anyway, this is the Breakfast Jack, especially if there's dog night out. That's what I tell him. I say, hey, listen, I'm a fictional novelist. I'm writing a story about dog night out. It's actually called Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, dash Shepherds of Alaska. In it, there's this crazy serial killer. He used to be at NYPD, and then he goes off to all these police departments, hacking his way in. He kills migrants that don't have socials. And eventually this happened. There's a revolutionary independent branch out in Alaska. They've ended up finding him, turning him over to the FBI. But you never know. And also, one more thing. At the end of the story, Shepard Dwight East, the cop that gets set up, he comes back to Fort Worth, and it's revolution, anarchy, and they're trying to kill all the cops. So I don't know if ADT would help you at that point, but it might. At least it would organize it. It'd probably jam the system, because like everybody's ADT would go off at that time at the same time. You never know. But that was not my rebuttal. But it could have been. So they do like an egg and ham and cheese. Now I was just telling them about the pixelated cameras, and they can see in the dark. They do a black and white see in the dark. They're all pixelated. They're always advancing. The Google cameras, because Google's merged with ADT, like they put $248 million in their company, or more than that, 6.6 stake. And there's like, I said 666, whoops. But 6.6 stake is what they say online. So, but that's actually a number that doesn't really exist according to how John prophesized it. It's a number that means like basically blank, blank, like XXX, blank, blank, blank. It's like a blank number, basically. But going back to the equipment, if things really did get rough, they might could use it to organize. But it has cameras. It can see in the dark. It can recognize facial recognition. It can tell when a package is being stolen. Just like the doors can tell, they're smart doors. They can tell when it's being broken into. Even when it's disarmed, I think. I have to check on that, but I think so. It can tell by the force of the door opening. And also another thing too is the camera, you can talk to the doorbell camera, so you can make the decision with the thief what to do. Say, go away, or I will call the police. They at least get a warning from your own voice, and they can tell it's you speaking. And then another thing they do is they recognize the package being delivered, and which can send you basically a text to your phone. So it's not just a doorbell camera, like Ring or Nest. It still can recognize if it's a stranger or a friend. That's one of my rebuttals. But in Dog Night Out, it is revolution. It's like anarchy. That's what it stands for. So at the very end, they get on a submarine because they can predict it. These guys are geniuses, so they go under the ice for safety. And they're all basically led by a dwarf who's protecting his team. Kind of in a way, it's a story of a lot of different Bible stories in there, but I guess towards the end it gets kind of like Noah, because you know it's gonna be a revolution, so they get in a submarine and they go under. They're like a heightened military group. They're not against the government, but they just keep an eye on them. Recently, it's weird to see a royalty member of Britain. They haven't made an arrest for like a prince in over 400 years. And they just recently did that. And that's very strange to see. It's very strange to see. But they have some photos. That's why photos are important. Now, if they would have had photos of those guys that... They didn't kick in the back door. See, they were more... With my grandparents, they scoped them out. They knew the jewelry was in there, so they went in the backyard. My grandfather was blind, so when he went out into the backyard, they had the voice changers. They're like, go inside. I have a gun. And my grandfather couldn't see, so he followed them. They laid him down, put blanket over him. My grandma came in screaming. My sister could hear this in the back room. They laid her down, put a blanket over her. Before they could get to my sister's room, which was in the back, she had already jumped out of the window and and alert the neighbors. By that time, they were already getting the jewelry out of the bedroom. They were looking for the floor safe, and they kept asking my grandfather for that key because they knew where it was, I think. I had a broken cast up to my crotch, and I was in another part of Halton with my mom. And they went to my room because I actually lived there. I was supposed to be there. They went to my room and I wasn't there. Then they went to probably the guest bedroom and all the other rooms, probably looking for the safe, because they had inside news on there was a lot of money there. They were in jewelry. They got about $100,000 or so worth of jewelry. Some people say $200,000. We had a lot of jewelry, and it was all in my grandma's room, probably in the closets and things like that, and off the Chester drawers and the dresser drawers, and where basically they keep that type of jewelry. And she started flipping out, so they grabbed a globe and hit her on the head, making a knot on her head. Neighbors come banging on the front door with their shotguns. Eventually they see them going out the back, jumping a fence. They get in a truck, and there's a firefight that happens in Diamond Lock. They never caught those thieves and those home invaders today, but they do have the camera footage. So today, they probably would have got them, because they probably would have got the model of the truck. They would have been able to trace that to whoever it was. But if they had the doorbell camera, or if they had the back door camera, they might have got them, because they could see them scoping them out throughout the day or throughout the months before. They can archive all that stuff. But back then in the 80s, they didn't have the technology that they have today to foil a home invasion. There's a good chance that if you're monitored properly, and not just Nest and Ring, because that doesn't always work, but it can kind of, but it doesn't always work. They can actually get those people, off the street. It's a pretty cool little thing they have nowadays with Nest, and it's with Google, All right, Shipley Donuts on our way, 0.3 miles. Want to officially confirm the order when you're at the car. They don't like you to do that because they know time is money, and they want to confirm there, but you can show them the app and the photo because, well, it's not secured yet. But then again, they kind of get, some of them do, some of them don't care. It just depends on the person you run into. They want you to actually hit confirmed, even though they can see the app, because then they can mark it on their end. but I do it about right here. Right, got one at Tom Thumb Floral, 1 mile away. We'll be there at 10:35. Late 80s and early 90s and mid 90s, the Tom Thumb was where that Planet Fitness and Ollie's is. They literally just took the Tom Thumb and put it right there. Reason why is because my friend worked there, and they just moved the Tom Thumb over here in the Hearst area. It looks like flower. All right, floral. Yeah. Okay. All right. Flowers on the way. 11 a.m. for the... Try not to swing out of me. What? Go with Saginaw and Taco Casa. Trying to decide if it's going to be a taco light or super burrito. Yellow. With the gate, or what I call the beast. It's the train, but we can afford to wait on her. If she tries to block me, it's not a big deal now. It used to be life or death if she blocked me, and she did several times, and that would be a contract V and a couple of them, and I think you get 3 strikes and boom. But we'll be able to today because we're just trying to sign up people, or we're going to sign up people in Saginaw for ADT. That's what this is Saginaw. That way they will be protected from burglary or fire. They don't have to worry about the long dispatch, is what I'd say. If you don't have it, it takes them longer to dispatch. If you have it, the dispatch time is very, very, very quick, like 2 to 3 minutes for them to start to dispatch. Maybe even a minute, because they already have you on file. And then they're already suited up in like 60 seconds. They can get you home in 4 minutes. They've been making tacos since 1972. Here, y'all have gonna be here.
We're
Let me start with a super burrito, and then I'll probably get a taco light. Going with the taco light super. Got some of these. Yeah, they're pretty bad on the copyright, so. But anyway, taco light and super burrito with Taco Bell sauce. I'm gonna go to the fire department. They do exist. One of my favorites. Try out their super. These are actually they're not too bad. It's better than your microwave burrito. Try a little bit. These right here. Probably easier for them to just leave it on the table. Really, I'm gonna give them a thumbs up. That was actually pretty good. I haven't been to any Taco Casas I haven't liked. So, they're seriously good tacos. They knocked Taco Bell out of the park. First one, 1.6 miles for door to door. Alright, so if you look at your sales rabbit, you only want to disposition it once. You can change it by tapping on it and changing the disposition. If you disposition it twice differently, you could go back to it wrongly. Always disposition one time. What we call this, basically, is reconnaissance. So we're gonna open it, and there it is, right? So we find out what's on the market, we go to that first. Here we're gonna go like this to find out where we are. And you don't have to use this, you can use your phone. You can do it all from your phone, really. But this does make it clear, boom, that's $300,000 home, which is what we just knocked on. So, yeah, I knocked on it. Now I can go this way and sells. Go here, and there it is. Let's say I wanted to change the disposition. I can do it right here. I can hit go back, it'll turn green. But I don't want to mess with that. I want to do it one time. If I come back to it, because I can do the blue ones later on, I can check on the dates on them. So that will keep me from that one. Because I can program it eventually just to go to the greens. The greens are right here. It's called the go backs. Do you follow me? And you only want to disposition it one time. That will narrow it down to the lead that you need. Now we'll go to the next one. So we go back to Redfin. It's a $260,000 home. And they just, this is public, they just pretty much moved in. Because today is the 20th. So what we can do is you can tap on that and this button right here. That leads you into what's called mapping. Or I thought it did, I don't know. You can actually look at it through maps here. and it should go to the mapping. And then you would just go straight there. You get the address anyway, so. All right, to get to mapping, you hit that, and this little thing right here. It's right to the side. Same as on the phone, exactly the same as the phone. Then you hit go, and I'll be there in 3 minutes. This one's 0.7. A lot of the artwork is now put like in these roundabouts. They do the same thing as South Lake. They do more like statues, Romanesque kind of stuff. This is something they do in Saginaw. So it's, I don't know, just some kind of artwork. They have them on all the roundabouts. They're from Vermont. They're from Maryland. We will be working on chapter 92 on Rib, which will be dealing with, they're called micro drones or smaller drones, UAVs, small UAVs. These are like those little tiny helicopter drones. They're called quad drones. Droopy has to fall asleep during the training, and Jed has to work with that because in Poopy, in the other scene, he pooped his pants. He couldn't help it. He has a problem with his digestive system. That's why he found him in a trash can in Fairbanks. He found Droopy because Droopy basically is probably I think they call it a narcoleptic, something like that. But he's also a slight drug addict too. So probably try to keep himself awake. He's probably misused drugs throughout his life. And he's in a dumpster too, and he finds him there in the same dumpster. So he has to fall asleep during the training, and he has to keep kind of waking him up. So it probably is like throwing snow on his face, or like taking snow and crumbling it up, throwing it in his face, so that he stays awake. Or he asks him to, to put, basically snow on his eyes and stuff to wake him up. Jed kind of in a way is a representation of Christ, because remember in the other scene, if you've seen 65 way back, chapter 65, now I'm on 92, but chapter 65, he says, don't call me master, don't call me sire. But every once in a while, use the word sir. He was trying to level with them, saying that he was their peer. That's in the Bible. Well, he gets to get one good last pee in before he hits the highway. Looks like competition already came through.